Hey y'all, Wire Shred here. Today, I wanted to make a video about the rabbit hole I fell into when it came to the newly debuted group BADVILLIAN. Originally, this was going to be a music review. They recently released a single album with 3 new songs, and I had plenty of good things to say. If you know anything about my music taste, that doesn't come as a shock. While I was researching them, however, I uncovered a whole smear campaign against them that started well before they debuted. I am exaggerating. A bit. But BADVILLIAN did have targets on their backs as soon as their teasers came out, specifically by toxic Baby Monster fans. And since then, the supposed list of plagiarism that BADVILLIAN has committed in offense to Baby Monster has only grown. Since they feel their malice justified because of this, they've been clowning BADVILLIAN for who knows how long at this point, calling them boring, overdone, and Baby Monster rejects, which I don't think they realize how, in conjunction with each other, is a major own of their group. In summary, I want to dismantle all of the claims with this video. Ordinarily, I would keep my nose out of things like this, but the accusations are so ridiculous and easily proven false that I feel like it would be scummy of me to not at least try and clear BADVILLIAN's name. Disclaimer before we get too into the nitty-gritty. I'm well aware that not all Baby Monster fans are engaging in this. If I refer to their fans, I'm talking specifically about the ones spreading this stupid rhetoric. On the other hand, there are some BADVILLIAN fans who are purposely antagonizing them, which I will address when I get to it. That being said, let's jump into it. To make this easier, I will be using the TikTok, because of course it's a TikTok, that Baby Monster fans use as evidence to prove their claims. I will refute each point as we watch it together. Oh, and I did mute the majority of it because it's using a copyrighted song. Circus by Britney Spears, if that matters to you at all. Their first point. So we are already in ludicrous territory. Apparently the hand gesture of a devil or horns or however you want to call it is now permanently Baby Monsters. If so, then perhaps we should have a talk with Dreamcatcher, who copied them 4 years before they debuted. Joking aside, this is a super common trope and way too general of a move to claim as Baby Monsters. Plenty of groups and artists, outside of K-pop even, have done this exact sign. This is classic nitpicking just to nitpick. I could see if BADVILLIAN had done the exact movement of putting their hand behind their head, but even in the so-called proof, that's obviously not the case. It's off to the side and is in direct reference to the lyrics they're singing. Their second point. This is very similar to the issue we just talked about. The color red is not Baby Monsters, nor is the concept of the members blacked out against a backdrop. Insert 10 examples of groups having done this before. I think the only reason this is included is because of the proximity in terms of time. Their third point. You're going to get really sick of me by the end of this video by how much I'm repeating myself. In this case, the copying allegations are going farther than just Baby Monster and extend to artists under YG. Well, formerly of YG, for G-Dragon. Regardless, whether because of public pressure or not, I don't know if this is really affecting the group in that manner, the executive producer of BADVILLIAN made a statement clarifying that the logo was designed 4 years ago, which makes sense. The amount of planning that goes into a group far extends the time it would have taken to see Baby Monster's devil design and copy it. Well, they should have changed it once they saw Baby Monster was using that design. And scrap all the work they've put into their concept? I think not. A bigger company might be able to cover their losses, but Big Planet Made is not one of them. Their fourth point. I mean, I already talked about this, so their fifth point. I discussed the logo and the silhouettes already. Let's talk about the photo shoot instead. I want someone to explain it to me like I'm slow. What in the world compelled you to assume that denim was strictly under Baby Monster's domain? Do we really want to play this game? Really? And how about the rest of the industry that I've put on screen? Do they get the same dumbass accusations, or is it just a Nugu group under a small company? Their sixth point. I don't even know what the argument is here. That they said the name of their group? So has almost every K-pop group. That the music dropped out before they proceeded to do so? Again, perhaps the most unoriginal idea out of the list of unoriginal ideas. The editing isn't the same, the design isn't the same. It's like pulling teeth at this point. Their 7th point. Finally, we get something with half a leg to stand on. At least on the surface. The first thing I did was find the original videos to confirm they didn't edit it, because frankly, I don't trust anything they got at this point. I found that the Baby Monster example is the visual film for Asa. The Bad Villain example is the trailer film for Nia. Clearly, it's the same sound. So, I Shazammed it. Yeah, it was that easy. The sample used in both are from a track called Status Anxiety by I Am a Duo. You can find it on the Artlist website, where, shocker, you'll see it listed as royalty-free music. It's free for anyone to use. Well, even if it's free, it's still shady that they'd use the same track to advertise their group. The only reason y'all are making this argument is because Baby Monster's debut is still fresh in everyone's minds. They haven't been as active, allowing their fanbase to obsess over the same content, so anyone using the same concepts as them are accused of plagiarism. Genuinely, what would it take for it not to be a ripoff? If Bad Villain released those teasers 6 months later? A year later? Could they use the royalty-free music then, Karen?
I saw a very dumb question. I sampled Baby Monster. No. Me and my producers sampled another sound, and Baby Monster sampled the same sound. Because we've been working on this song for a year, over a year. Wow. Please stop showing how dumb or stupid you are through these live streams. Please, have respect for yourself. Come on. Have a little bit of respect for yourself. You gotta know how these things work. Okay?
Their 8th point. That's not Bad Villain's fault or issue to deal with. I don't know why you're bringing this up. And that's the end of the TikTok. I hope I didn't miss anything because I'm not looking forward to posting a second part to this. I don't want anyone to take this video as me bashing Baby Monster. If anything, I actually like their releases. Only reason you didn't see me defending them is because I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time. Speaking of defending them, we enter into the response of these allegations. The nasty shots at Baby Monster. It's not a secret to anyone that they aren't the top group of the 5th generation. Yes, they pull in a lot of numbers, but if you ask the average K-pop stan, they are likely to name IVE or IDOL before Baby Monster because they have a better reputation and a longer discography. Not to mention the Blackpink ripoff allegations, which is why this whole situation confuses me. As fans, you know the shit Baby Monster has to go through being Blackpink's little sisters, and yet you push the same treatment onto Bad Villain because you feel the need to get even? You think pointing your finger at another group will get the negative attention off your own? Because it won't. It just makes you look like a huge bully harassing a smaller group. That being said, the snarky remarks of how Bad Villain is what Baby Monster was supposed to be don't help the situation. You look jealous and desperate. This may be a stark realization for some K-pop fans, but many concepts and elements in the industry are neither new nor innovative. They are often recycled from older groups and will continue to be reused. The similarities between these two groups can largely be attributed to their shared girl crush concept. However, there are nuances that set these groups apart. Bad Villain, for example, pushes the girl crush concept to its extremes. Their music is characterized by an aggressive and loud style that aims to captivate audiences with its intensity and boldness. This approach appeals to fans who appreciate a more forceful and edgy sound. On the other hand, Baby Monster embodies the girl crush concept in a more digestible manner. Their music, while still confident, is crafted to be more accessible and appealing to a broader audience. This makes Baby Monster's style more suitable for mainstream listeners who prefer a balanced blend of intensity and melodic appeal. While both groups operate within the same conceptual framework, their execution varies significantly. Bad Villain's approach is more extreme and niche, whereas Baby Monster's is refined to cater to a wider demographic. At the end of the day, I just want the infighting to stop, because there is no end objective here. Bad Villain, because of the status of their company, will never reach Baby Monster's level. It's not a personal failing for them, it's just how the industry has proved itself to operate time and time again. There is no world where BADVILLIAN poses a threat to Baby Monster's popularity. So stop crying wolf and focus on your own group. And for the BADVILLIAN fans, you are already fighting an uphill battle when it comes to popularizing the group. Do not make it worse for yourselves by making an enemy of a huge-ass fan base. For the love of God, focus on advertising the girls and supporting them. So I guess what I'm really asking is just for everyone to hold hands and say kumbaya. I know that's really I'm joking at the end. That's unrealistic, but in an ideal world, I would hope that's what happened. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. See y'all later. Bye-bye!